Weird. No. We wish everyone after the Achon Shel Pesach, now by the Rebbe, it's still the light of Mashiach, Oirei Shel Mashiach, which is Meir, which is illuminating not only in Chutz La'aretz, but it's illuminating the entire world, the light of Mashiach. And as everyone probably has been hearing during the afternoon, evening, the Air Force is working overtime for some reason. They have their orders and they have their program. They should help that it should only be for l'teva v'libracha, for the good and for the on a good and revealed blessing in all matters, ruchnius, gashmius. And here, when we're talking about the concept of this week, it's in the Sphere Sa'omer, as we mentioned, we already began the count to the Geula. We've been counting for I don't know how long, 30 years now, since Tafshin Nun, since Nun Gimel, it's 30 years. Since Nun Aleph Nun Beis, we're talking about 32 years. We've been counting to receive these goals, the revelation of the Rebbe Shlita Melech Ha'Moshiach. But when we're talking about this week, and we're talking, like we mentioned before, the Air Force working overtime over our above in the heavens. So this is the week. Tonight we just counted. We just entered the week of Gevura, might, severity. And it's the might and severity that the Eibishter gives us, Am Yisrael, the nation of Israel, in order to go and bedarkei ateva, in the channels of nature, to go and to take care of all those things that need to be taken care of with might, with severity, with assertiveness. When we're talking about one Jew with another Jew, so it has to be bedarkei sholem, bedarkei noyam, in a manner of peace, in a manner of tranquility. Even when we're talking about ummes ha'olam, the nations of the world, so lechatchila, it has to be with sympathy, with compassion. Accepting there are exceptions. We're talking about Amalek, and we're talking about the nations that occupied Eretz Yisrael, but they also had to be notified. Chevre, pick up your bags and leave, or else. But here, this is the whole idea. We hear the toikef, we hear the assertiveness, we hear the power of Hashem as it's being circulated throughout the world, as the light of Mashiach is now being illuminated in the world. Mashiach, this is the light of the Rebbe. And we are 100% sure, with 100% trust and belief in Hashem and in the words of Hashem as they are delivered by the Rebbe, that Eretz Yisrael is the most safest place in the world, in the universe, even by the angels, Malochei Ashores, by the neshamas. It's not as safe as here in the Holy Land, and therefore, as it states, Haboiteach ba'Hashem Chesed Yisevevenu, those that trust in Hashem are encompassed with the Chesed. We are encompassed with the kindness, the Chesed of Hashem. But the Eibishter gives us the might and severity to go out and to do the missions that we have to do, b'derech hateva. But we already read in Shvi Shel Pesach, which is Achon Shel Pesach here in Eretz Yisrael. What did Moshe Rabbeinu tell the Jewish nation? Hashem, when they were standing at the sea, at the Reed Sea, Hashem yilochem lachem, v'atem tacharishun. Hashem will battle for you on your behalf. And what are we supposed to do? Moshe Rabbeinu tells us, we're supposed to be silent. Silent meaning not to go out to war. We have to daven, we have to learn Torah, and this is exactly, Baruch Hashem, what we're doing mitzvahs, the study of the Torah. And we'll start with the story. We're coming from the week of Pesach. The week of Pesach, one of the most beautiful things that we encounter in the week of Pesach is the 18th Chai, the 18th of Nisan, which is in Chol HaMoed, the intermediate days of the holiday of Pesach. And this day is crowned. This day has been crowned by the by the heavens with the birth of the father of the Rebbe Shlita Melech Ha'Moshiach, Rabbi Levi Yitzchak Schneerson.
יצאתם פעם אחת יצאתם?
One second. אני אחזור אליו בעוד שעה וחצי. לא יכול לבדוק עכשיו. לא, זה היה יותר, אולי. So we're in the middle, and in honor of the birthday of the Rebbe's father, and beyond that, we're also talking about the day of the Bris Milah, the day of the circumcision of the Rebbe Shlita Melech Ha'Moshiach himself, yeah, which is also on Chai Nisan. Here and now, we'll share a story about the Rebbe's father, the Gaon Mekubal, the Chasid, Rabbi Levi Yitzchak Schneerson. It was only later in the Rebbe's father's days that he arrived to be the rabbi, to be the Rav of the great city in the Ukraine, Yekaterinoslav. Then Yekaterinoslav, today it's Dnepropetrovsk. But initially, he was in the city called Nikolaev. That's basically also the city where Rebbe Tzimchana came from. Rebbe Tzimchana was her maiden name was Yanovsky, and then he was asked to come to Yekaterinoslav to be the rabbi. At the beginning, he refused, and they really were after him, and they asked until finally he gave in, and he said, "Fine, okay, I'm coming." When he came, so the majority of the stories that we have are basically from the diary of Rebbe Tzimchana, the Rebbe's mother, the wife of Rabbi Levi Yitzchak Schneerson. And in her diary, she writes as follows, that they came and they were fresh in the city. Being a fresh rabbi in the city, there are certain rules and regulations. They're not written down. It's like the fifth part of Shulchan Aruch. There's certain rules and regulations that you have to keep. You have to abide by being, trying to appease everyone, trying to make everyone feel good, to make sure that everyone feels comfortable with the new rabbi. And the last thing that the rabbi wants is any type of a ruckus, a machloikis, a dispute, chas v'shol. But being that the Eibishter runs the world, and the way the Eibishter runs the world is just many times not on the basis that we understand, that we feel, that we see. So this is what happened. Right at the beginning, when the Rebbe's father arrived in Yekaterinoslav, so he's making his rounds around town, and one of the places that they would frequent because of his tafkid, because this was his job, was in the shlachtois, where they would shecht the animals, chickens, cows. When he came, so as the Rav, he went to the sheikhet, one of the sheikhetim, and he said, "Give me your knife. I need to check it." No, the sheikhet gave the Rebbe's father his knife, and the Rebbe's father checked it properly, and the Rebbe's father tells the sheikhet, "How can you shecht with this knife? It has a pegima. It has a flaw in it. And any animal, any chicken that's shechted with this knife is treif. It's not appropriate. It's not kosher." The sheikhet said, "Give me the knife." The sheikhet held the knife. He checked it, and he said, "Rabbi, I don't know what you want. It's 100% okay. Nothing here." the Rav, who already felt that it had a flaw, he said to the Sheikhet, listen, maybe you're working hard, maybe it's difficult for you. Go wash the knife from the blood and check it again. And he did what the rabbi said. He checked it again. He said, it's 100%, no problem. Now, in this kind of situation, what the Rav has to do is, when the Sheikhet goes once and twice, 3 times, he's out. So Rabbi Levi Yitzchak said, listen, you're already getting old. And since you're getting old, you already lost your feeling in your finger, where you're supposed to, when you check, you're supposed to check with the finger, with the tip of the fingernail. And I see that you can't find the flaw in the knife, even though I felt it 100%. I'm going to have to ask you to leave Shchita and go on pension. The elderly Sheikhet was very upset, and to say the least. And the previous rabbi, what is it called? The rabbi, not alumni, rabbi, the previous one, who was he was also an elderly man, who also was asked to leave his position to allow the new Rav, Rabbi Levi Yitzchak, to enter. He was not only upset, but he was very angry, because this sheikhet is the sheikhet that he appointed. And not only this, but the sheikhet had many family members who held very high positions in the city. You're talking about the Jewish community center, and you're talking about the tzedakah sources and this and that, the other thing. These are not the people that you want to get mixed up in at the beginning of your position as a Rav in such a big city. The Rav Levi Yitzchak didn't take this. Rav Levi Yitzchak didn't take this under consideration, because when it comes to Torah, when it comes to mitzvahs, like the Shulchan Aruch says, Al yevesh az kanamer, a person has to be fierce as a leopard in order to fulfill what the rabbis have taught us. Yeah, al yevesh mipnei mal'ikim, not to go and to buckle under from those that come to ridicule us. No, Rav Levi Yitzchak was strong, set in his place. The previous Rav, not only was he upset with the fact that the sheikhet was the sheikhet, but he was upset with the fact that Rav Levi Yitzchak was a Hasidic Rav. Rav Levi Yitzchak Schneerson was a Chasid, and again, to say the least, the previous Rav was not friendly to the Hasidic way of life. So what did the previous Rav do? He went and he organized the Beis Din. He took Rabbi Schneerson, the Rebbe's father, to the court of law, the Jewish court of law, and there they organized a Din Torah, a court case. Okay, not only did they organize a court case, but the previous Rav had an ace up his sleeve. He had a surprise. What was the surprise? He had a witness. Witness? Yeah. Who's your witness? What's your witness? He had a Jew that said that he claimed that the day that Rav Levi Yitzchak came and he found that the knife was not kosher, it had a flaw. He just happened to be passing through the town, and he was actually there in the shlachtois, and he said that he himself checked the knife, and the knife was kosher. Knife was kosher, huh? And Rav Levi Yitzchak standing there, and according to halacha, when we're talking about isurim, when we're talking about prohibitions, so one aid, usually you need 2 witnesses in order to go and to give a fortified testimony. But when we're talking about prohibitions, one witness, if he takes an oath, if he takes a shvuah, so he is also believed. We accept his testimony. And this witness went and he took an oath as well. Rabbi Levi Yitzchak can't understand. He didn't know what's going on because he didn't hear that there was such a person. And this person already took an oath. All of a sudden, the Rebbe's father looks a little closer from where he was standing, sitting, and he sees something strange. And while he heard the testimony of the witness, he also heard a familiar voice. It wasn't someone that he never met in his life. He thought and he looked at the face, and the person had a gingy beard. He had a red beard, and he had big thick glasses, a very big thick rim. You couldn't even see his face. The rim was so big. But Rav Levi Yitzchak concentrated, and he had siyata d'shmaya. He had the help of heaven, and he finally realized that this individual is none other than Reb David the Beidek Hasakinim. This is Rabbi David, the person that works in the shlachtois, in the Shchita center, who's appointed to check the knives. He went and he colored his beard red, and he put on these big thick glasses. No one recognized him. No one knew who he was, or no one wanted to know who he was. And he went and he took an oath, and he said that he happened to be passing through. Rabbi Schneerson shouted out, and he said, "Ribbono shel olam, Master of the universe, who is this person? This is none other than David Beidek Hasakinim. This is none other than David, the knife checker. And he himself was supposed to check the knife, and he himself was supposed to know that it had a flaw. And he also is the one that has responsibility for the sheikhtim. You can say that maybe he checked it and it only had a flaw later on, but the sheikh himself checked it. Didn't help. Once the people of the court, of the Jewish court, of the Beis Din, realized that what Rabbi Levi Yitzchak was saying is true, they also were able to recognize that this is not a person that just happened to be passing through town. This is one of the people in the town. This is the person that has the responsibility and the obligation to check the knives. The Beis Din went and they ruled against the Rav's din Torah, against the sheichet, against the witness, and they placed Rav Levi Yitzchak in one of the most highest positions, where when a Beis Din comes and proves that someone is of the other side, the plenteeth is wrong, so this raises the position of the person that was being ordered by the court to stand for his court case. And from then on, Rebbe Tzimchana writes, the people of the town had unbelievable esteem and honor and respect for Rav Levi Yitzchak. But where did it come from? This great honor, this esteem, this respect? Because he stood his ground. He didn't buckle under pressure. He didn't want to know about whose family this sheikhet is from, how long what kind of a veteran sheikhet how long he's been shechting here, who appointed him the previous Rav. This all didn't make a difference to Rav Levi Yitzchak. The one thing that made the difference was, if this sheikhet knows what he's doing, is he kosher? Is it appropriate to eat from this person's shchita or otherwise? Which obviously was proven to be otherwise. And this is what the Rebbe says, this is what we're meant to learn from the story of the Rebbe's father. That when it comes to Torah, when it comes to mitzvahs, when it comes to anything in Judaism, in Yiddishkeit, there's no place for pshores. We can't go and say, oh, listen, I cover my, person covers their eyes. I didn't see, I didn't hear, I didn't know. There's no place to go and to be, when it comes to the halacha, you can't be flexible. it either is kosher or it isn't. And this is what we have to know in regard to the words that the Rebbe comes and tells us. After, like we said before, 30 years, 32 years, we're hearing from the Rebbe that this is the last generation in Golus, in exile, the first generation in Geula, which we've already started. We're living in the Geula. It's just that it hasn't been revealed to our eyes of flesh and blood yet. But to go and to trust the words of the Novi, as the Rebbe has come and proven to us, and told us that Hashem has appointed him to be the prophet of our generation, to tell us that hine ze Moshiach ba, here, behold, Moshiach has come, ukvar ba, and he has already arrived. This is what we have to stand behind, and regardless of people that might come and question, might come and be and have speculations, might come and ridicule Chas v'Sholem. The Rebbe comes and says, we have to go and we have to explain it, b'darkei sholem, b'darkei neam, in a manner of peace and a peaceful manner, in a tranquil manner. But this is exactly what the Rebbe says. It has to be in a manner that we explain until the other person understands that what the Rebbe says is correct, what the Rebbe says is true. And we should be zeicha now. It's like we said before, the light of Mashiach, Oirei Shel Mashiach, is illuminating the entire universe, the entire creation. The light of the Rebbe. We should be zeicha to have this on a revealed basis, teichef miyad mamish, in our eyes of flesh and blood, but on a good and revealed basis, mitoch simcha v'tuv levav, with the happiness and joy of the heart. And as we said before, with peace and tranquility of the mind and the heart. And the main thing is to be teichef miyad mamish, mamish, mamish. Yechi Adonenu, Moreno v'Rabbeinu, HaMelech Ha'Moshiach, Chai v'Kayom, Li'olam Voed. Amen.